Hey everyone, in tonight's free video, just want to take a look at the S&P 500. I continue to get a bunch of questions about the S&P 500 and what I think about what's happened over the last couple of days. Well, if I get rid of this for just a brief second, you'll see essentially we bounced off that 618 retracement. So again, we talked about this in the room, and we've talked about this in some of the premium videos. Looking for a bounce off of this level was very possible, especially given the fact that we had some previous structure resistance here, anticipated support. So we popped off of it. Now, then you got this sort of trend line here, and I got some emails in regards to this trend line. What do I think? Well, at this point, you know, we've rallied up into, and we haven't quite gotten there yet, but we are pretty close to rallying up into this little trend line resistance. The other thing about it is it does happen to meet with, if I go from a retracement perspective, from the high down to this low, you'll see if I actually bring in the 50% retracement right here, you'll see that it's meeting up in here. So you got kind of like this confluence of a trend line and a 50% retracement. So what I would look for is, you know, somewhere in this zone, depending on how much this can rally, it being some sort of resistance. Now, if we break through this, then there might be a chance that we could retest the highs. Again, I still feel that the probabilities of that happening versus it going lower is not greater than 50%. Meaning, I think it has a greater chance of rolling back over than making new highs. But again, no one's always right all the time, and I'm by no means a person who always thinks he's right. But keep an eye on these levels. I think the next couple of days are going to be interesting. Tomorrow you don't have that much news, but at the end of the week you got some more stuff stirring up. And again, I believe that the next 3 to 6 months are going to be more downside pressure on the market. And again, I think that the probabilities of that are higher than it going and making new highs. But who knows? Other than that, again, I'm just staying patient. I've got my money on I've got my money to the short side on the S&P. All the other markets, I'm staying patient. I'm being disciplined in my rules. I'm doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm not losing focus of that. And that's really the key thing to being a consistently profitable trader. The other market that I got a question about was the NASDAQ, and you can see the NASDAQ here, of all the indices, has been, I guess you could call, the weakest. Now, from the low here up to this high, you still see that we're holding that 618, but the bounce here has not been nearly as significant as we've seen in the S&P and in the Dow. The Dow is actually even weaker. But again, what's interesting about this is the weakness off the bounce here. That might suggest that there's going to be weakness here. One of the things I always talk about, for those of you who've been kind of following along, is when you see weakness like this, a lot of times, you know, that's sign of a strength of the trend that it's going in. So if this thing actually breaks below here and closes below this low, okay, if this can break below here and close below this low, I'd expect to move to the 127 and then possibly even the 1618, which would put us at just 1627. So keep an eye over the next few weeks. I think it's going to be interesting. I think we all need to have a plan. We all need to follow rules, and I think now is just as an important time as any. But, you know, as a reminder to myself first, and then to you, make sure you have a plan, make sure you have rules, and make sure you're implementing that every single day. All right, guys. Lastly, tomorrow webinar, you have up until tonight to sign up for it if you are interested in participating. Again, it's going to be 2 full days of ratio trading, 2 full days of learning to trade, the rules that we trade, and the tactics that we do on a daily basis. If you're interested in checking that out and being a part of that, just visit our website, ratiotrading.com. On the lower right-hand corner here, or this right side, you'll see live 2-day webinar. You click on that, it takes you to the sign-up page. It's 2 full days from market open to market close. It will be recorded if you can't make it. And then other than that, we will see you guys then. Have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you at the next update.